Did you know that for many people, the risk of having a stroke is actually highest in the morning? It might seem surprising, but that quiet time right after you wake up can be a critical window. We often think of strokes happening randomly, unpredictable events that strike without warning. But the painful reality is that while they can feel sudden, the groundwork is often laid by everyday habits, and some of the most significant risks are linked to how we start our day. Imagine the disruption a stroke causes, the loss of independence, the challenges with mobility or speech, the impact on loved ones. It's a scary thought, isn't it? But what if I told you that there are simple things you might be doing every single morning, without even realizing it, that could be increasing that risk? Things that are easy to change once you know about them. Ancient wisdom and modern health insights often converge on the power of simple routines. In this video, we're going to look at 5 specific morning habits that many of us fall into that could be putting us at higher risk. And more importantly, how you can easily adjust them. These aren't complicated medical procedures. They're small, practical steps that can make a real difference in protecting your health as you get older. Stay with me until the very end, because there's something important I want to share that might surprise you and truly change how you think about your mornings. So, let's dive right into the first of these crucial morning habits we need to reconsider. The very first thing many people do upon waking is reach for something stimulating. Maybe it's a cup of coffee, tea, or even a sugary drink. Or perhaps they rush straight into their day, heading for the bathroom or the kitchen, without giving their body a moment to adjust. But one of the most significant, yet often overlooked, risks right after waking is simply not hydrating properly. Think about it, you've just gone possibly 6, 7, maybe even 8 hours without a single drop of water. Your body has been working all night, repairing, processing, using up its water reserves. By morning, many of us are in a state of mild dehydration. Now, why is this particularly risky for stroke? Well, when you're dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker. It's like trying to push sludge through a pipe instead of free-flowing water. This thicker blood is harder for your heart to pump, and it's more prone to clotting. Clots are a major cause of ischemic strokes, which happen when a blood vessel supplying blood to the brain gets blocked. Starting your day already dehydrated adds unnecessary stress to your cardiovascular system right from the get-go, at a time when blood pressure can already be fluctuating. Imagine waking up thirsty, and instead of giving your body the hydration it desperately needs, you immediately introduce caffeine or sugar, which can actually have a diuretic effect or cause blood sugar spikes. This just exacerbates the dehydration and puts even more strain on your system. The simple, practical solution is incredibly easy. Make drinking a glass of water the very first thing you do every single morning, even before you get out of bed if possible. Keep a glass or a bottle of water right on your bedside table. That way, when you wake up, it's the first thing you see and the easiest thing to reach for, before you even sit up. Take a few sips. Then, when you do get out of bed, finish the glass. It doesn't need to be a huge amount, maybe 8 to 16 ounces, whatever feels comfortable. This simple act helps to rehydrate your body gently, making your blood less viscous and easier to pump. It also helps to awaken your digestive system and can have other positive effects, like helping with regularity. Many people underestimate how much of a difference this makes. They might think, oh, I'll have coffee now and drink water later. But that initial morning window is when your body is coming out of a long fasting and hydration period. Giving it pure water first is the kindest and most beneficial thing you can do. It's a small habit, takes less than a minute, but its impact on blood flow and reducing that morning thickness of the blood is significant. Think of it as lubricating your internal engine before you ask it to start working hard. You wouldn't try to start a car that's been sitting for hours in the cold without oil, would you? Your body needs that same consideration. Making this a non-negotiable part of your morning routine is a powerful step towards lowering your stroke risk. You can even make it a pleasant ritual. Use a nice glass. Maybe add a slice of lemon or cucumber if you like. The key is consistency and prioritizing hydration before anything else. Now, another habit that goes hand in hand with this is how you actually get out of bed. It sounds simple, right? You just get up. But for many older adults, getting up too quickly can cause a sudden drop in blood pressure, known as orthostatic hypotension. You might have experienced this as a wave of dizziness, lightheadedness, or feeling a bit unsteady when you stand up too fast. While the dizziness itself might pass quickly, the sudden shift in blood pressure puts stress on your cardiovascular system. In some cases, the body overcompensates for the sudden drop, leading to a rebound surge in blood pressure. And these rapid fluctuations can be dangerous, particularly for blood vessels that may already be less elastic with age. So, the second wrong morning habit is jumping or rushing out of bed the moment you wake up. Your body needs time to transition from a horizontal, resting state to an upright, active one. Gravity is a powerful force, and when you suddenly stand up, blood can pool in your lower body. Your body has mechanisms to counteract this and keep blood flowing to your brain. But these mechanisms can be slower or less efficient as you get older, or if you have underlying health conditions like high blood pressure or diabetes. A sudden surge or drop is the last thing you want when trying to protect yourself from a stroke. The actionable step here is incredibly straightforward, requiring just a minute or two. When you wake up, instead of immediately swinging your legs over the side and standing, take a moment while you're still lying down. Maybe stretch gently. Then, slowly sit up. Don't rush this. Let your body adjust to the seated position for about 30 seconds to a full minute. Feel your feet flat on the floor if you can. Take a few deep breaths. This gives your blood pressure a chance to stabilize before you introduce the further challenge of standing against gravity. Pay attention to how you feel. If you still feel a bit dizzy or lightheaded after sitting, stay seated for another moment or two until it passes. Only when you feel steady should you slowly push yourself up to a standing position, making this a conscious part of your morning. The gradual transition from lying to sitting to standing significantly reduces the stress on your cardiovascular system at this vulnerable time. It prevents those abrupt blood pressure shifts that can strain blood vessels in the brain. Think of it as a gentle wake-up call for your circulatory system, rather than a shock. For some people, particularly those who take blood pressure medication, this slow transition is even more critical, as medication can sometimes make you more susceptible to orthostatic hypotension. It's a small change in routine, barely adds any time to your morning, but it's a powerful protective measure against those dangerous blood pressure fluctuations that are linked to stroke risk. This habit, combined with the first one of hydrating, sets a much safer and healthier tone for your entire day. Now that we've talked about getting your internal systems gently started and getting out of bed safely, let's move on to another major factor that often gets overlooked in the morning rush. Next up, we need to talk about something critical that many people, especially as they get older and their health needs change, might handle incorrectly first thing in the morning: managing their medications. For many individuals over 60, starting the day involves taking prescribed medications, whether for blood pressure, cholesterol, blood thinners, or other conditions. And here's the third wrong morning habit: forgetting to take your medication. Taking it at the wrong time, or skipping it entirely, especially on busy mornings or when traveling. This might seem obvious, but the consequences of not taking prescribed medication as directed, particularly those meant to manage cardiovascular risk factors, can be severe and immediate. Medications prescribed to reduce stroke risk, such as blood pressure pills or anticoagulants, are carefully dosed and timed to maintain a steady level in your bloodstream throughout the 24-hour cycle, or at specific times when they are most effective. Skipping a dose or taking it late means that protective level drops, leaving you more vulnerable. This is especially true in the morning, a time when blood pressure can naturally surge or fluctuate due to hormonal changes associated with waking up. If your medication is meant to counteract this morning surge and you miss it, you are essentially leaving yourself exposed to dangerous blood pressure spikes. Think about the cascade effect. High blood pressure is a leading risk factor for stroke because it damages blood vessels over time, making them weaker or narrower. Anticoagulants or antiplatelet medications prevent blood clots. If you miss a dose, your blood becomes more prone to clotting again. It's like having a safety net and then stepping off it. The actionable step here is to make taking your morning medication an automatic, non-negotiable part of your routine. This means having your medication readily available right where you can see it and tying it to another habit you already do every morning. For example, you could keep your pill box right next to your glass of water on your bedside table. So, the moment you reach for your water, our first good habit, you also see your medication. Or, place it next to your coffee maker, on the kitchen counter where you prepare your breakfast, or even on your bathroom sink, if that's where you go first. The key is visibility and routine. Use a pill organizer marked with the days of the week to help you keep track and see at a glance if you've taken your dose. Set a daily alarm on your phone or a simple kitchen timer if you need an extra reminder. Involve a family member or friend if you find yourself consistently forgetting. The point is to create a system that makes it difficult to miss your morning dose. Forgetting or skipping medication might seem like a small oversight in the moment, but for someone managing stroke risk factors, it's a serious gamble. It's far better to build a consistent habit that provides continuous protection. Talking to your doctor or pharmacist about the best time to take your medication and what to do if you accidentally miss a dose is also crucial. They can provide guidance tailored to your specific health needs and prescriptions. Getting this habit right is a cornerstone of managing your health and significantly reduces a preventable risk factor for stroke. Moving on from medication, let's talk about fuel, specifically what you choose to eat or not eat for breakfast. This brings us to the fourth wrong morning habit: eating a breakfast that is high in sugar, refined carbohydrates, or unhealthy fats, or worse, skipping breakfast entirely. The first meal of the day sets the tone for your blood sugar and energy levels, but it also has an impact on your blood pressure and overall cardiovascular strain, especially in those crucial morning hours. A breakfast loaded with sugar, like sugary cereals, pastries, or even seemingly healthy options like flavored yogurts or fruit juices with added sugar, can cause a rapid spike in blood sugar. This triggers your body to release a surge of insulin over time. These constant spikes and crashes can contribute to insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and weight gain, all of which are major risk factors for stroke. High sugar intake can also directly impact inflammation and blood vessel health. Similarly, a breakfast high in unhealthy saturated or trans fats, often found in processed meats like bacon or sausages, or in fried foods, can contribute to higher cholesterol levels and plaque buildup in your arteries over time, narrowing them and increasing stroke risk. Even a breakfast that's high in sodium, like processed breakfast meats or some cereals, can contribute to elevated blood pressure, which, as we've discussed, is a significant risk factor. On the other hand, skipping breakfast altogether isn't a good solution either. When you skip breakfast, you've gone for a very long period without energy. This can lead to overeating later in the day, often making less healthy choices when you're extremely hungry. It can also mess with your blood sugar regulation throughout the day. For some people, skipping meals can even contribute to stress hormone release, which can negatively impact blood pressure. The actionable step is to make sure your morning meal is balanced and nutritious. Aim for a breakfast that includes a source of lean protein, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates, ideally from whole grains or fruits and vegetables. For example, instead of sugary cereal, try oatmeal with some berries and nuts. Instead of a pastry, have scrambled eggs with some whole wheat toast and avocado. Greek yogurt with fruit and a sprinkle of seeds is another great option. If you prefer something quicker, a smoothie made with fruit, leafy greens, a source of protein like yogurt or protein powder, and some healthy fat like chia seeds can work. The key is to stabilize your blood sugar and provide your body with sustained energy without causing stress to your system with sugar spikes or unhealthy fats. A balanced breakfast helps keep your blood pressure steadier throughout the morning and provides the nutrients your brain and body need to function optimally. It's about choosing foods that nourish and protect your blood vessels, rather than potentially harming them. This isn't about a strict diet. It's about making smarter, small choices consistently. Swapping out 1 or 2 unhealthy breakfast items for more nutritious options can make a world of difference over time in reducing your cardiovascular risk. Paying attention to what you fuel your body with first thing is just as important as the other habits we've discussed. Now, There's one more crucial morning habit that often catches people off guard, especially during certain times of the year or specific circumstances. Finally, let's talk about a habit related to environmental factors and sudden changes. Which brings us to the fifth wrong morning habit, exposing yourself to sudden or extreme temperature changes, or engaging in sudden, strenuous activity right after waking up. Our bodies, especially as we age, don't adapt to rapid changes as quickly as they used to. And the morning, when your body is still transitioning from rest, is a particularly sensitive time. Think about stepping out of a warm house into a cold morning to get the paper or walk the dog without being properly layered. The sudden exposure to cold causes your blood vessels to constrict rapidly, a natural response to preserve heat. This constriction, however, also increases blood pressure and puts extra strain on your heart and blood vessels. If you have underlying narrowing or stiffness in your arteries, this sudden constriction can be dangerous and significantly increase the risk of a stroke or heart attack. Similarly, taking a very hot shower immediately after getting out of a warm bed can cause blood vessels to dilate and then constrict as you get out, also potentially causing uncomfortable or risky blood pressure shifts. Engaging in sudden, strenuous physical activity without warming up is another form of this kind of stress. While regular exercise is excellent for stroke prevention, jumping into intense activity like heavy lifting or running hard the moment you're out of bed puts immediate, high demand on your cardiovascular system. Your heart rate and blood pressure shoot up rapidly to meet the demand, which can be risky for fragile blood vessels. The actionable step here is simple. Allow your body to adjust gradually to both temperature changes and activity levels in the morning. If it's cold outside, make sure you are properly dressed in layers before you step out. Give your body a few minutes to adjust to the indoor temperature before heading out. If you're going to exercise in the morning, start with a gentle warm-up. This could be some light stretching, walking around the house for a few minutes, or gentle movements to get your muscles and circulation going before increasing the intensity. Even something as simple as taking a shower can be managed to avoid extremes. Aim for a comfortably warm shower rather than excessively hot or cold. If you enjoy a cooler rinse, do it gradually at the end of your shower, not as the first thing. The principle is always gradualism and allowing your body to adapt slowly. Avoid rushing from one extreme to another. These 5 habits: not hydrating first thing, getting up too quickly, missing or mistiming medication, eating an unhealthy breakfast or skipping it, and exposing yourself to sudden temperature changes or strenuous activity might seem small on their own, but together and over time, they can contribute significantly to morning stroke risk. They all place unnecessary stress on your cardiovascular system during a naturally vulnerable time of day. Remember, making changes doesn't mean you have to overhaul your entire life overnight. It's about awareness and making small, manageable adjustments to your routine. Starting your day with a glass of water, sitting on the edge of the bed for a minute before standing, having a reliable system for your morning medication, choosing a balanced breakfast, and being mindful of temperature and activity levels as you start your day. These are all simple, practical steps. None of them are difficult or require expensive equipment. They are about building consistent, healthy habits that protect your most vital organ, your brain and its blood supply. Think about the potential payoff reducing your risk of a life-altering event like a stroke. That's incredibly motivating, isn't it? Embracing these simple morning shifts is an investment in your independence, your quality of life, and your ability to continue doing the things you love with the people you care about. It's about being proactive and taking control of aspects of your health that are within your power to influence. Don't feel overwhelmed by thinking you have to be perfect. Start with one habit, perhaps the one that resonates most with you or feels easiest to implement. Maybe it's just putting that glass of water by your bed tonight. Once that feels natural, add sitting on the edge of the bed for a minute, then tackle the next one. Small, consistent steps lead to big, lasting changes. Every little bit you do to support your cardiovascular health matters. If you found this information helpful, please let me know in the comments below. Have you already adopted any of these habits? Are there others you practice that you feel are beneficial in the morning? Sharing your experiences can help others in our community. And if you learned something new today that you think could help someone you know, please consider sharing this video with them. Your health is your greatest wealth. especially as you get older. Taking these simple steps each morning is a powerful way to safeguard it. If you haven't already, please consider giving this video a thumbs up. It helps us know we're providing valuable content for you. And subscribe to the channel. Subscribing means you won't miss out on future videos packed with practical tips and information to help you live your best life at every age. Thank you for watching. And remember, you have the power to make positive changes for your health. Starting tomorrow morning, live your best life at every age.